Okay, today I'm going to go through how to draw a basic female face. I'm not using anything to copy from. I'm just using MyPaint, a graphics tablet, and I'm going to go make it up as I go along, and anything that doesn't look right I'm going to come to correct and see if I can work out how the light would go and see what it looks like at the end. So I'm just drawing the basic face now. I'm putting a gentle, almost pointed chin on there like the end of a guitar pick. I'm going to put a center line there through the middle of that face, and that center line is going to give me the top of the ears. It's also going to give me the center of the eyes. If I go halfway between that center line and the bottom, that'll give me the bottom of the nose, and halfway between the bottom of the nose and the bottom again is going to give me the bottom lip. So I'm just going to mark in the ears there, top of the ears, meeting the center line as mentioned, and I'm just putting guidelines on there to show me the width of the nose and where that's going to meet the eye level. So I want the eyes coming out from there. I always try to make my eyes more curved at the top than they are at the bottom. Just marking in the lips now. Now the bottom lip can vary slightly depending if the mouth's open. I'm just going to put it in the eyebrows even though they're not needed at this stage, which are up in the air. I don't want it frowning. Got quite a slender, gentle looking nose. Don't want anything too angular. Don't want big cheekbones, don't want a big chin. Trying to keep everything as gentle as possible. Another great feature with this software is the function to actually turn the canvas, and you can turn it so then the natural curvature of your arm, your hand, will follow the curves of the picture you want to draw. So don't be afraid to move it around, spin it upside down, zoom in or out, whatever you find easier. So I'm just marking in the eyes there with a more heavy line, bottom of the nose, top lip, and the bottom lip. There's the top of the bottom lip going in, and there's the bottom of the top lip going in. The lips are slightly parted. I'm just going to turn it back to normality. Hang on, I'll just put a heavier line over these eyebrows. Don't want too big eyebrows on there. And that's the front of the earlobe there going on there. And the good thing about using this symmetry tool is it does a lot of the work for you. Okay, so there we have it. That's the sort of face I'm looking at the beginning. I'm happy with that. Just going to mark in the hairline now. Okay, I'm just going to mark in the hair, like I said, mark in everything where it goes. This will all get painted over as the picture goes along. I mean, this is on its own separate layer, but I'd just like to have it all marked out as a point of reference. Just going to mark in where the actual iris is on the eyeballs. And the pupils within them. Okay, next we've sorted out the actual plans for the face on its own separate layer. So I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to call this skin 1 because it's going to be the skin, and if I build on that it'd be skin 2, skin 3, just as a point of reference, the names. I'm just going to try and work out the best mid-range for this skin. When I'm happy with that, I'm going to start shading it in. I'm using quite a large soft airbrush on the brushes palette there on the left. If I keep my fingers on the A and S keys, I can control the opacity as I go along. Also the pressure on the actual tablet. I'm not going to worry too much about shadows or lighter areas at the moment. Just blocking it in. Okay, at this point now I'm just turning up the colour slightly to make it slightly lighter, and I'm trying to anticipate where the light is going to fall onto this face. Now I wanted the light to be centrally in front of the face, shining upwards slightly. So using a brush with a soft edge on it, I just want to blend them lighter areas into the slightly darker areas. The nose is going to have a light line virtually down the middle of it. There's going to be darker areas at the side of it. The tip of the nose is going to be lighter because the light will catch that. The chin protrudes slightly, but not too much because this is a female. Okay, and as we go along, we add more and more lighter areas, and we should have more of a clue about where we're going with this picture. If we make any mistakes, we don't worry, we can just delete the layer, we can roll it back, we can erase it, it doesn't matter. We don't make mistakes, we don't make anything. Okay, so I'm envisaging light's going to fall onto the side of the eyes by there, onto the centre of the forehead, down the middle of the nose, onto the chin, and probably across the cheeks. Okay, I've speeded up the film so it's not so boring for you lot watching this. I'm still blocking in the tones, the lighter areas and the darker areas to give the face its form. I'm going to use the inbuilt tool as well to rotate the canvas to make it easier to work on because of the angle your hand is. I'm just blocking in the lips now in a mid-tone. Actually it's a bit light, so I'll darken that off. There's going to be more light catching the bottom lip instead of the top lip. Put a darker area under the bottom lip on the skin, which would be the shadow cast by the bottom lip. And the dark areas on now around the eyes. Now, you wouldn't necessarily do this next, but as I've got the colour on the palette for the dark areas of the skin, I thought I'd block it in. Now I'm starting to work lighter. Okay, next I'm just looking at the eyes now. I'm blocking them in a blue colour, like a mid-range blue. Then I'm building in the lower tones of the iris. Putting a pupil on there, and then I'm going to build in the shadow off the eyelid. Again using the soft airbrush with a tiny tip on it. Got to remember the eyeballs are actually round and not oval, which is a mistake a lot of people make. And I don't want to be tempted to do the whole eyeball white, just grey and white where the light is catching it. Now I'm going to be adding highlights to the darker areas of the picture where the light is reflected from around. Again, it's trial and error. Like I said earlier in the film, I'm not using any sort of reference image. I'm just trying to work out myself where the light would fall. And if I'm not happy with it, I remove it and start again. Okay, now as you can see, I've started to add hair to the picture. I'm using again a soft airbrush with a small nib. Turning the opacity right down, and using variations on the tone for like a reddy brown hair. Okay, now I need to look at how it's coming on so far and see where I can improve the actual picture and what mistakes I've made. I think the nose is too wide, the cheeks are too flat, the eyeballs are too oval shaped. Maybe need some eyelashes on there, and I think there's more shadows needed on the lips, and the chin might be too pointed. I can try and fix all these now, and we'll see what it comes out like. Right, I've managed to smooth off the lighter areas on the cheeks to give them more of a rounded appearance as opposed to them being flat like they were before. I've also made the chin less pointy, and I'm working on the shadows around the lips to give them more of a... Now I want to work on the shadows under the eyes, make it look more realistic. And the actual light catching the eyelids, even if they're covered in the dark mascara. Next I want to look at actually doing the teeth, so I've set up another layer, labelled it teeth. I'm not going to just put in 4 white teeth in view. They're going to be a grey to black colour with just white catching, well, white at the front where the light catches them. Okay, now I'm working again on the highlights in the picture, rotating the canvas to suit. Some light catching there in the nose. I'm just doing what I think may look right, and if it doesn't work, I'm going back. If I think it looks convincing, I'm keeping it. Putting a few more details there in the picture, putting a bit of a reflection on the iris, the eyeball. And that's it, I'm happy with it. Give it a try. If you don't make mistakes, you don't make anything. Thanks for watching.